Today we are looking at this video. It is a podcast called Fwoosh Cast First Friday with Super 7's Brian Flynn. I don't know if I pronounced his last name wrong. Sorry if I did. Please correct me. But after this is done, stay tuned because we got a Hasbro event I want to talk about afterwards. So let's get started.
Grooving for you at this point, or
doing okay?
Yeah,
I would say it's doing okay. It's not doing great. It's not necessarily doing terrible. I mean, it's a catch-22. It's like some characters do okay and some characters don't. Obviously, going backwards, we had to cancel Madame Woe and White Tiger Zord, but we were able to make White
That
Ranger.
pissed people off.
Bulk and Skull is something that people have been asking us about the entire time. I've seen them asking every other toy company about it forever.
They've never had figures, right?
They've never had figures,
Nope.
and here they are. But I would say that, sales are just okay, not great. So it's an interesting thing. Like, I can't quite figure out,
Okay, so I wanted to stop there because this is a big deal. He just said the Bulk and Skull figures are not selling great. So last time when Madame Woe and the White Tiger Zord got canceled, it was because the pre-orders wasn't great, and so they just canceled it because they didn't have enough pre-orders. It sounds like the same thing's going on with Bulk and Skull. I hope not, because I really want them in my collection, and so far Hasbro is going on a hiatus, and nothing's going to be done for a while. So let's see what happens, okay? Let's cross our fingers and let's get Bulk and Skull.
Is that customer just not interested in that kind of format? Where is that just too similar to the old, flip head chrome style?
No way.
Ones, and it's like, I want that. I don't want this. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't have a specific answer. Like, generally speaking, the Zords actually outsell the Rangers.
Yeah.
The reason the Zords outsell the Rangers, by my own opinion, having the Dragon Zord and the Tyrannosaurus Zord, is because they're not gonna break. They're not Hasbro's. Hasbro's Zords, very easy to break. These things are built strong and well, at least ones I have. I haven't really seen any bad reviews on these besides one, and that was just a QC issue problem, and the guy freaked out about it, in my opinion. But good review. I don't remember whoever review that was, but anyways, in my opinion, these things are built like a tank. So yeah, these things are amazing and they look amazing. You want to see my review? I'll put a card up here for it. Anyways, let's continue.
Cool robots and monsters, man. It's hard to beat those.
Yeah, but the monsters don't sell very well either. Everybody says, "Oh, why don't you make all the monsters?" And we make the monsters, and then they don't buy them.
Wow. Oh.
It's an interesting sort of thing where it's like, it should be one of those where it's a no-brainer. We should just be making Squat and Babu, and we should be making, Lord Zed and Eyeballs and just everything. We should be making all the monsters, and it's just like, don't really need those.
Okay. Would you say that you're at a crossroads at this point with the property and the format yet, or not quite there yet?
I think there's some other things that we're looking at with it where we're just trying to figure it out. I think it's a little early to say that we're at a crossroads. I think more just sort of I hate to call it a reset, but just like, how do we re-engage everyone with what is Power Rangers?
So let's talk about that. A reset. He doesn't want to do a reboot. He wants to do a reset. So he needs to find new marketing campaigns, basically is what he's saying. And the problem with marketing these days is that you have to, there's not really a TV commercial. You can't just TV commercial, it's the new Power Rangers Zord, and they have cool little, scenes and stuff like the old times in the, 90s when I grew up watching MMRP. It's mostly people like me that do toy reviews. And unfortunately, a lot of these companies want people that have, 1,000 subscribers or even 10,000 subscribers sometimes before they give them products to do the review of it. And so, of course, these people ain't getting the, products out that they want, the reviews they want, because they're not having all the people that are truly fans of Power Rangers doing the reviews. They're just fans of Super 7 doing the reviews. And me, I'm a true fan of Super 7, but again, I think they're looking for 1,000 subscribers on my channel. I don't got that yet. So please subscribe, like, and comment on this video and all my other videos.
I think quite honestly, a lot of that when I'm saying, they're not doing as well as, like, I will say that because I hear it across the entire industry. We were doing pre-orders when no one else was and everything was fine. Now everyone's doing pre-orders, and I think everyone is feeling an economic pinch a bit more than they have been in years past.
Yeah.
And I think that over the last year, people were just like, I I don't do pre-orders anymore. I just can't afford to do pre-orders. And secondly, we've allowed a lot of our partners to order as many as they want.
Mhm.
And so then if you can get it after it comes out for retail from somebody else, then why would you pre-order it?
Mhm.
So I think there's a catch 22 there that we just have to kind of like, okay, let's pull this back in, because if you don't pre-order, we actually then it doesn't sell through, and then those guys don't order as much. And it's sort of like those things can compound, and they
Right.
can compound additively and subtractively. And I think we're seeing it subtractively right now, but I don't think that that's unique to us. I think that's
No.
happening from what I
No.
can hear across the board.
As
So let's talk about this marketing thing he's talking about. He's absolutely right. Everybody right now, Hasbro, all the companies are having problems selling Power Rangers, not because of pre-orders though. That is absolutely crap, because pre-orders is a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's a company pre-ordering it or the consumer buying it. A pre-order itself, it goes straight to the company. So if someone orders 17 Dragon Zords, that company gets 17 Dragon Zords sent to that person. It's the same idea if Nintendo releases a new console and 3,000 people pre-order it. Nintendo doesn't get to see any of that money until it gets into the person's hands itself. So you go to GameStop, you pre-order a Nintendo, right? You put down $20 for a pre-order on that, and then when it comes out, you have to have it all paid off that day, and it gets in your hands. Nintendo sees that profit for that system. GameStop sees a little bit of it. Okay, so in reality, is this pre-order thing he's talking about makes sense, but not really, because unless you're hitting up eBay a month later or something for, let's say, the Dragon Zord from Super 7, then Super 7 itself won't see nothing, because the person that owned it ahead of time gets all the money and eBay gets some of the money. But Super 7 having pre-orders, or having companies pre-order a lot more than they were supposed to, because they can, because that's what he said, they can, doesn't hurt them, because they're still getting the money from the company themselves. And when they sell the product, that's when the main company makes back the money that they bought from Super 7. Let's continue on with the video.
as someone who is, it's my hobby, but then also we do, some manufacturing. It's like you kind of understood in the past that the smaller companies are the ones that, don't have, billions of dollars backing them up. That method is almost required in some cases. But then, as you said, everybody got in on the pre-order thing, and the biggest companies out there. And so I definitely hear about the fatigue and things like that, and how you as you said, pivot, change, or adapt to whatever it is. It's not clear to me what it is that people want though. Right?
Okay, so first of all, Super 7 used to be a small company. I would agree with that back about a year ago or so. But look at all the toy lines they do. They are not a small company anymore. If they had maybe just Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and that was it, fine, that'd still be a small company. But they got all these other ones. They have, their own line of toys. They have Transformers. They have Star Wars, I believe, too. They have a lot of Hasbro toys in their catalog of their own. So they are not a small company. If they were a small company, they would only have 1 or 2 toy lines, maybe 3. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't think that people want or don't want. I mean, we've talked about this before, and now I think everyone talks about it. It wasn't unique to us talking about it in the beginning, although less people talked about it in the beginning. More people talk about it now, in just that there are more toys being made for more licenses in more formats and greater quality than ever. That is not a balloon that can expand infinitely.
Right.
Okay, so that's a very true comment there. the point of this is that he is working with Hasbro for these Power Ranger toys, and there are other companies out there that have the license too. So people get so many options of where they get the Power Ranger toys. They can get them from Super 7, they can get them Hasbro, they get them from the Zero company, get them from, I think, 2 or 3 other companies. There's like 6 or 7 companies that make Power Rangers that I didn't even know about until a few months ago. And they're all different sizes, they're all different materials, uh, and they're all different price ranges. So you got the lowest grade Power Ranger toys you can buy is actually Hasbro's. They're the cheapest ones. And you get Super 7, and then you got other companies that go even higher up. And it is a balloon. And what he's talking about is absolutely true. Listen to this. I mean, it's absolutely true.
There's a point where that balloon pops.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of us, ourselves included, we're trying to be very cautious about like, hey, if we're seeing that softness, like let's pull back a little bit. Let's not, like everybody was saying, can you go faster? Can you go faster? Can you go faster? And I think now it's like, hey, can you go a little slower?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's much more where we're at right now, which is let's slow it down a little bit, take our time. It's not a sprint, you know, this is a marathon, and just kind of see how everything shakes out a little bit. And there may be some things that, that would be rad as a toy, but there's just not enough people to support it, or it's not the right time, or any number of other things. So I don't want to sound like, these things are terrible or bad, but it's just like, I don't think it's a surprise to everybody. It's like, hey, everything's a little slower now, so product is also going to happen a little slower.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
So he's absolutely right. When people bring stuff out so fast, that means the turnover has to be fast. So let's say Hasbro brings out a new line of Power Rangers, let's say Space or something, and then 2 weeks later they announce Samurai or something, people are going to pre-order them for sure. But then they're expecting to see the whole set, boom, bada boom. And we all know how Hasbro works. And it's not good because Hasbro's quality control will go even farther down faster. And this would happen to Super 7 too. They kept pumping them out because they would have to pump it out real fast, and quality control would just go right out the window. And I know personally I had a QC issue with my Pink Ranger, and it's coming back from Entertainment Earth here soon, and I'll have a review of that. But 1 out of 10 I have, not bad. Let's continue.
And us following through,
right?
But how often we come to market, because there's only so many times and so much stuff people can buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And do you find that you are, because for some of these properties, you've been with them for a while, and have gone through several pre-orders. Do you feel like from property to property, you're getting a handle on frequency of like waves as well as wave size with this, or is it still kind of hard to define that?
It's kind of hard to define that. I mean, we had a formula. Everybody knew our formula, which was every 4 months.
Yeah.
4 figures every 4 months, 3 times a year. Do. Part of that is making sure you deliver on time so you can keep the cadence. But
there you go. 4 figures every 4 months. Delivering on time is the key. That is so true, and I really wish they would do that. I would even be happy with 2 figures every 4 months, if it was delivered on time. And delivering on time does not mean Entertainment Earth. I don't mean, Big Bad Toy Store. Big Bad Toy Store is great, though. I've dealt with them. But it's hard to get a retailer to sell it on time if they're not getting their product on time. Because now there's so much out there from Super 7 alone where it's hard to get that all 5 Rangers at once. And then Big Bad Toy Store came first, so they get their stuff first, then Entertainment gets their stuff first, then Target or whatever, however it goes. So, yeah, it's really interesting to hear that.
The more you add these things in, the more it kind of cycles up. It's, I think, just being cognizant of everything out there and just taking a little bit more time, slowing it down.
Yeah.
Working through a little more methodically. Where everybody's looking for it to be like, the sky is falling. It's like, the sky is not falling. It's just, Rome wasn't built in a day.
and it's cyclical and things change all the time for
Yep. And the moment we finally get into a nice, perfect, even keel here, something else will change and throw the whole thing out the window.
yeah, of course, because it has to be that way, because why get into a groove of smooth sailing even for 30 seconds, right?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Huh. Well, we've been talking about.
All right, so there you guys go. That's the little clip I want to show you from this. That was awesome. I love listening to the interview of this. There's lots of things I didn't like about it, disagreed about it. But let's move on to our next topic. So let's talk about Hasbro Pulse 1027 event is coming soon. What is 1027 event is? Well, 1027 stands for October 27th. The name came from the old OG building of Hasbro's. So in most cases, this event is done in the Hasbro warehouse. And yes, the warehouse. That's pretty cool, I think. But what can this event actually give you? What can they show you? Well, most of the time they talk about upcoming products. You know, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Spider-Man, Marvel, whatever. They usually show what's upcoming for those events. Now, I hear last year they didn't show anything of Power Rangers, but they did get something later on down the road of Power Rangers unannounced. But I'm hoping to hear about Yellow Ranger helmet. I'm hoping to hear about the Black Ranger helmet. I don't collect those, but I think knowing that the Yellow Ranger helmet's been out for the long time, saying it's been finished, but it hasn't been released. It's time to say something and release it. People are expecting this helmet sooner or later, I would actually like to see the Green Ranger helmet be released too. They do that, I'm picking that one up firsthand because that's one of them I want. I can care less about some of the other helmets, but I'm just a big JDF fan, okay? True to my heart, I'm a big JDF fan. What else could be known? It could be the Battle Axe and Power Bow. Could be released there, saying. But I hope not because, that's coming close to December, and December, is... If you have kids like me, my money goes all to the kids at that point because it's Christmas, and I have to put everything I want off on hold, so... Kids come first, so they should release, if they did a HasLab, because they have the Giant Man right now, and they're not gonna probably cross labs because that'd be kind of a bad business deal in my opinion. But they should release the Power Bow and the Battle Axe HasLab in the beginning of the year next year because it'd be a great time for it, something for 2024, right, guys? So, anyways. I'm hoping for a White Tiger Zord from Zap because I got this old Bandai one. It's 100%. It works perfectly fine. I took the batteries out. If you guys want to see me do a review on this guy, because I love doing reviews on the classics too, I will. And I'll put the batteries back in and everything and let them, light up and shine and make the noises. But anyways, that's it, guys. That's what it is. It's 10/27, October 27th. Hasbro Pulse will have an event. And, thanks to Legacy and Nerd for this information, actually. If you don't know him, if you haven't watched his videos, I'll put a link to the video that he talks about this information. It's pretty much the same information because I'm just taking it from him. Thank you, Legacy and Nerd, for giving me the information to use on my own video. But if you haven't done it yet, please like and subscribe and follow me on Facebook. And I'll catch you on my next video. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments. Peace.